The holidays have come and gone, but the unsellable pile of Disney merchandise rages on.
The following is a World-Class Bullshitters exclusive.
I've been saying for months that if the unsellable pile of Disney merchandise doesn't sell by Christmas, then it's just not going to sell at all. And well, the following video confirms just that. So folks, before we head out into the store, one last thing. The holidays may be over, but you can still get the gift of Stealing Solo right now. Stealing Solo asks the greatest what-if question of all time. What if a group of disgruntled Star Wars fans kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to remake Star Wars in their basement? That, and a whole lot more, is answered in Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody. Stealing Solo has been called Laugh Out Loud Funny and the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs, and it's available now for a limited time only. Go to stealingsolo.com, which is powered by Shopify, so you get the reward-winning safety and security, and get yourselves a copy today. Once we sell through this limited backstock, I'm going back to the drawing board to bring you the sequel, which parodies Luke Skywalker's fall from grace, and finally the closing chapter, which I can't wait to get to, Frankenfisher, the Bride of Solo. And yes, it's exactly what you think it is. So folks, the only way to get that is go to stealingsolo.com right now, get yourselves a copy, and enjoy the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs. So we start today at Ollie's, where the shelves are empty. But you'll see why we're making this video in just a moment. Also too, all toys were 25% off, now they're 33% off, and you'll start to see what can't sell no matter how much they discount it at discount. So as you can see, we have some Hasbro merchandise featuring the Fantastic Four and Beast Wars, and they're still here after Christmas, but those 5 or 6 items are nothing. So let's roll over here to this store where it starts to build up and look familiar. So first off, we have tons of G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Beast Wars, D&D, and our first of maybe 1,000 Marvel Legends Black Panther figures. So as you can see, they're 33% off, and the Shurikopters aren't really moving. There's about, a dozen up here so far? Maybe a little less, but still a lot of Shurikopters. And you haven't seen anything yet. So here's the Marvel Legends end cap, and it looks pretty much the same as it's looked over the last few months. Now, up here on the top, a couple of those Black Panther figures in the weird scale have moved. Can't deny that. But if we look further down here, we'll see that the Eternals, eternally on store shelves. We got tons of Icarus. We got tons of Icarus. The woman, the deaf one, like they're all over here, okay? Between the Eternals and Black Panther and Doctor Strange, Marvel toys just, they live at Ollie's from now on. So I hope they made themselves comfortable. They have a bedding section. Maybe that's what they do at night. They all sleep there. But no matter the price, no matter the discount, these things are not moving. As you can see here, no one has ever even touched these Eternals disc launchers at this store. We have a random Ponda Baba sighting. But you're starting to see more of the usual suspects. Lots and lots of Obi-Wan vintage figures. Nobody cared about that show, and nobody cared about the merchandise. Hell, we even have some old stuff from Avengers Endgame popping back up on store shelves, but that's a story for a different time. Shang-Chi, however, that's the story of today's video. You might see record amounts of Shang-Chi. Okay, you will see records amount of Shang-Chi. Let's just get that out of the way. No suspense, no drama, all Shang-Chi. The Last Jedi toys haven't been touched. They're just still there. Nobody likes that movie. Nobody liked that movie all those years ago. And even stuff like The Mandalorian, which was popular, not all characters are created equal. And we have tons of, well, not white guys. But I'm just joking. Here's the Shang-Chi section. And it keeps going. And it keeps going. And now we've reached the top of the shelf. There's nowhere else to go, so it's over. But what do we have here? Ah, Sabretooth. Let's just put it back. But seriously, the Shang-Chi section is massively overloaded. We have tons of Eternals, More Shang-Chi stuff down here on this shelf, and lots of Thor. And look, it's Holdo. Lots of Holdos as well. A few Zori Blisses sprinkled in there, but mostly Holdo. We got a whole nother row of Zori Bliss and Holdos. It is what it is. Now let's put her back before my skin burns off. A few other Marvel figures that we don't see as many of at other stores like Speedball, but they're here at Ollie's for cheap. And speaking of cheap, the Eternal is $7.99, everyone else is $9.99. Even Ollie's knows that the Eternals are so bad that they have to make them $2 less to try to convince people that they're a good deal. But they're the Eternals, and they're not. Windblown Chewie lost his box, but he didn't lose his place at the Ollie's. And there's another Shuri-Copter. Shuri-Copters forever. Now, on my way out, I made one more pass because this section was pretty much barren except a lone Rey figure, which means somebody picked this up to buy it and had second thoughts. I wish Disney had second thoughts, but we're not that lucky. Here's the other side of the Hasbro section where there's a lot more Star Wars Black Series figures, the archive collections. It's so bad, the apathy for Star Wars, that even the original trilogy just doesn't sell anymore. There's C-3PO and Princess Leia from Return of the Jedi and Lando in his Skiff Guard gear. And nothing. I wonder what the Tower of Star Wars would be from this store. It would pale in comparison to the Tower of Hugh Grant. Jeez, look at all these Hugh Grant figures. When they're at Ross for $5, I will buy one of those D&D Hugh Grant figures just for a Hugh Grant head, put it on a Marvel Legends body of a suit, and just have Hugh Grant, the action figure. I don't know why, but it makes me laugh. Now here we are at our next Ollie's, and this is a surprise, because again, this is after Christmas, where all the toys should have sold, and look at this. Actually, let's zoom out so you can look at more of this. This is something else, and it keeps getting crazier at this specific store. It looks like a tornado hit this place, and well, maybe Ollie's would like a tornado hit this place, because then they could take it off on their taxes and write off all these unsellable Marvel toys. I just hope no one's harmed in the tornado, but if these toys get destroyed, who gives a shit? Now you see this giant pile of unopened boxes to your left? That was all Shang-Chi. We'll get there in a moment. Let's look at these Holdos. The Holdo figures, they're toxic, they're poison. Holdo is like the Grinch. Well, no, the Grinch had a heart. Even if it was small, it eventually grew. Holdo was heartless and died. Well, we don't need to talk about her anymore. But these are all Shang-Chi figures, and look how wide they go. What is that? 5 wide? That's a lot of Shang-Chi figures. There's more in this store, but you already knew that. So let's get away from the Shang-Chi figures before I don't know what I'm gonna do. But let's look over here. We got more of this tornado. We have the captain. Well, she's not a captain. Whatever Ironheart is, whatever her ranking is, she's here. And look at all these Thor Love and Thunder figures. Thanks, Taika Waititi. Thanks. Somehow it's your fault. But even Thor is here. In large numbers. Ah, the usual suspects. The Shuri-Copter and the Spear. Now this is looking familiar. Look at all those Shuri-Copters. We know exactly what's going to happen with those. Nothing. Just like they... It was Christmas. Come on. People can sell anything for Christmas, and they can't sell a Shuri-Copter. God, there's more of them over here. They keep on coming. This store has an abundance of Star Wars figures from the Black Series as well. There's Dengar from The Empire Strikes Back and Dr. Rivazan from the original Star Wars with a Ponda Baba. And they're still here. Brand truly damaged. And look at all those Holdos. That is a whole case of Holdo. That is all number 80 on that one to the left. Holdos everywhere. Just like Holdo is everywhere, so are the D&D figures, and so are these Jane Foster shampoo bottles. Let's see who else they got back here. They got Jane Foster, Jane Foster, Jane Foster. Oh, a Thor! Well, let's see if we can find another. Yep, we did. So Thor and Jane Foster ain't selling for shit. But, oh, it's another Jane Foster. Let's continue on. Whoever thought that Doctor Strange discs were a good idea was wrong. Just look. And like I always say, folks, if it can't sell at Ollie's, it will never sell, because after Ollie's, it goes to the dump. It's usually sold for spare waste and stuff like that. Taxes and other things happen with the old merchandise. They're all written off. So these are going to go to a landfill. These are going to be destroyed. These are just going nowhere. This is their graveyard. In a matter of speaking. Captain Marvel and Captain Carter. A combo. I don't know how I would feel about a combo of those two women. This is YouTube. We can't talk about that stuff here. But follow us on Rumble to hear us talk about that stuff and a lot more. Speaking of more, there's Namor. Terrible character. Let's just keep walking. Let's look through this pile of crap. This is a giant display full of stuff that didn't move for Christmas, as you can tell. But they have 2 full cases of Jyn Erso figures. Isn't that great? You know, the first Jyn Erso series of figures didn't really sell that well for Rogue One. So guess what they did? They made a whole new series of Rogue One figures for some reason, at the behest of Disney. And they didn't sell a second time. You know, if you're going to make the Human Torch a side character and make the Invisible Woman the main character of the Fantastic Four, you're going to have a bad time at the theater in the box office, Disney. I swear, less people have touched these things. No, I'm not going to say that joke either. But look, no one touches the Eternals, okay? Somebody attempted to steal that Black Panther figure, but it's still here on the ground. You can go back and watch videos from about 2 months ago up until now, where that unopened Black Panther figure has just been chilling there on the ground the entire time. It's sad when a toy won't sell for Christmas. It's even sadder when a toy isn't even physically touched. People just look at it and go, no thanks. They can't be convinced. They can't be coerced. It would be funny if it wasn't so sad. It's funny. More of the usual suspects. Let's zoom out so you can see even more the breadth of this unsellable nightmare. Like I said, I always feel bad for the people in retail because they're stuck with this crap. Just like we're all stuck with the crap that is called Doctor Who today. Don't even get me started on that show. Hey, look, it's America Chavez. You're going to see a lot of America Chavez's later. But let's look at some Shang-Chi. Quite a bit. Quite a bit. And it just keep on going. From the floor to the ceiling, Shang-Chi cannot sell. There's a Shuri, some random damaged crap. Looks like a damaged Shang-Chi. Wow, okay. Maybe somebody got mad and stepped on it. Yeah. And look, more of that vintage Obi-Wan wave that will not sell. Not here, not there, not anywhere. I realized I forgot to walk through this section of the Marvel display. After a while, all garbage looks the same. Can you tell the difference between garbage and garbage? Well, this garbage comes in a nice box. It's the nicest thing I can say about these toys. Like I said at the beginning, there's just so many of these things. So many. And this is after Christmas, the biggest shopping holiday of the year. Now, I always make my way through the book section to see what's new, and for some reason, they always have new Star Wars books that I've never seen before. We have Star Wars sticker art puzzles. Let's take a look at this sticker art puzzle. We have original trilogy stuff with... Hold on a second. That Luke Skywalker, that's a Photoshop job if I've ever seen one. Still better than whatever's from the new Star Wars, so let's just continue on. Return to the Jedi, Yoda, original Star Wars, Empire. Like, it's got it all. May the Force be... Oh, it's also got the Disney logo. I'm done. Let's just move away. Anything else new over here? This isn't new, but it's new to us. From the new film, Star Wars The Force Awakens. I guess we're about 8 years removed, and it's still considered new. Awesome. It's not even the newest Star Wars movie, but hey, C-3PO's arm was new when it was red. Don't even get me started. I don't think we've seen the Galactic Guide either with BB-8 and the... We've definitely never seen this book Nowhere Like Home. Let's check this out. Star-Lord teams up with Captain Marvel to protect Earth. This has gotta be good. Oh my god, I'm giddy with anticipation. Let's see how it ends. Captain Marvel flies back to Earth, the Guardians wave goodbye. Maybe Captain Marvel will die on the way to her home planet. Poochie style. I think we'd all applaud that sequel, right? Now, I wanted to show you regular retail for a second, just to make a comparison. Wrestling, all but gone. Star Wars, pretty full. That one wrestler you saw has been injured for months, too, so people don't buy figures of injured wrestlers that often. At least on the main roster. We got a Princess Leia, we got Lando, we got Greed Karfa, the Mandalorian stuff. It's all here. It's all here. The only figures that have really sold well are the Han Solos. Hell, even these pod racing toys cannot sell. I like Pod Racer. Boonta Eve? What a classic. Now, it's good to have familiarity and dependability, and it's always nice to know that this Captain Marvel and this Spider-Woman will never sell and are always on store shelves, but they're not alone. They have Zendaya to join them on the shelf. Isn't that great? I know I'm happy. Now here we are at another Ollie's, and you can see what they got. Lots of Shang-Chi. It's comical. Could you imagine the warehouse, the factory where they painted all these Shang-Chi figures and heads, and now they're just sitting here chilling? What can I say about Holdo that I haven't already said before? Or America Chavez? There we are. Look at that. Look at all those Marvel figures. Who do we got here? We got America Chavez, America Chavez, America Chavez, America Chavez, and America Chavez. And, oh, finally, a Baron Mordo. Finally, something to break up the monotony. And a Baron Mordo. And a Baron Mordo. Well, Carl, at least you're not alone. Now, this Febreze was put here to mitigate the stink of these Marvel Legends toys. And we have some of these Black Panther action figures. Those aren't rare. There's our pal Sue Storm. A Hulkbuster, a Shurikopter, and Ironheart. Seems like a bad joke. So Ollie's clearly didn't buy up every one of these figures ever made, but I wonder where the rest of them went. Like the entire production run. I'd love to see the internal Hasbro documents. How many figures were produced? How many went to Ollie's? Most of the Shurikopters are at Ollie's. Look at them. Here we are. Let's take a look. Less Shurikopters than usual, but still too many. But that spear, you'll never be short on a spear. Now down their toy aisle, you're starting to see more of the usual suspects, including that random yellow Space Ranger? Zeo Ranger? I didn't watch that era. I'm surprised The Empire Strikes Back didn't sell. Oh well. These are new. No, they're not. Ah, something from the Justice League movie. Every once in a while, we'll see one of those figures pop up at Ollie's, but it's rare. So as I was walking out, I noticed that these Marvel figures were just put here. Again, meaning somebody picked these up to buy them, and nobody wanted them. So we had an M'Baku, 2 Black Panthers, and another M'Baku. What else we got? That is not from Black Panther. So, yeah. I also caught these D&D figures out there in their own special Christmas toy shelf section. Here they are. Lots of them, including the Hugh Grant down there below. You can see him in the corner. Did you like the D&D movie? Let me know in the comments. I still want to watch it. I didn't. Now, this is me walking out of the store. I thought you'd like to see what it looks like from the opposite side, where you can tell what figures are here, and you just see, like, almost an entire display full of the lady from Eternals, Cersei. There's just so many of them. I really wish Marvel and anybody that makes IP-based stuff would just stop focusing on the characters that people don't like and say, oh, it's the power of the brand. It's the power of the characters and the brand. Speaking of the brand, I went over to the Disney store to see this Pride Collection BB-8 on clearance. So people didn't put their money where their mouth is, they didn't buy into the Pride Collection, and now it's clearanced out at the end of the year. Okay. So here we have the LGBT DROID figure collection, and that's not selling either. It's also on clearance. People just didn't want cauzy stuff with their Star Wars toys, I guess. And look, they didn't want Carl Weathers either. Poor dude. And that's just all Carl Weathers. Honestly, I'm just going to say it. The figures based on minority characters and women sell less based on what we've seen in these Ollie's videos, or if they're based on really bad characters, like this droid that's not R2-D2 from Return of the Jedi. But I'm sure Disney doesn't care, and I'm sure most people on the internet don't care because they'll champion a cause, but this is what happens when you force that on the retail shelves. It just doesn't sell. It sits here forever, like at this other Ollie's, where, while their toy section was pretty much non-existent, their Marvel Legends section is just as full as always. And don't forget the Star Wars and Power Rangers, it's sprinkled in there as well, next to the D&D and the Shurikopters and the Shang-Chi. Let's look at the Shang-Chi. Look, it's like a quarter of this entire aisle is nothing but these figures. And this is what, the third Ollie's, the fourth Ollie's we've been to in the video. And it's not even the last Ollie's that we'll go to today. Between Shang-Chi and Wenwu, God, think of all that plastic that could be melted down. You could make literally anything with all that plastic. You could make a pipe that stretches around the planet with all that plastic. I'd like to see that actually made. Maybe the Dude Perfect guys will go ahead and do it. Hashtag WCBS Dude Perfect. So the opposite side of the shelf tells the same story. Same shit, different day. And look, we have an advanced Kamala Khan that's been here. That's a pre-pandemic toy. That's been at Ollie's pre-pandemic. It's still here. Just like you, Black Panther. Now here we are at our final Ollie's for the evening. Let's go inside and see what they have, shall we? So, as you can tell, the store's been hit mostly for Christmas. It looks pretty empty until you take a closer look and you see Shang-Chi out the wazoo. Again, they're everywhere, and they're not selling. His stick spins, his arms shoot water. It should be cool, right? Right? Now here we are in their toy aisle. Again, Eternals, Doctor Strange, America Chavez, more Shang-Chi, more Star Wars. There's Han Solo, the old man version. And Sue Storm of the Fantastic Four. This just looks like a pile of stuff that they're throwing away, and it's mostly Disney stuff. They're like, come on guys, let's see if we can sell it one more time. And we can't. There's just a random box of Star Wars figures down here. Mostly the Obi-Wan Inquisitor figure, the vintage style one. Let's actually look at this thing. That's why it didn't sell. He looks like a testicle. So I know they're 33% off. It's going to take 99% off to get me to buy half of this shit. Or any of this shit, to be honest. Like I always say, folks, I feel bad if you're a collector and you pay full price for anything from Hasbro, because just wait, even Target clearances their stuff out quicker than you'd believe. Oh, the Shurikopter. The stuff of legend. Speaking of legends, let's take a last look at these Marvel Legends figures here on the shelves. And the Star Wars. I'd love to get a count. What sells less, Star Wars or Marvel? Honestly, I'm going to go with Marvel. At least some of the Star Wars stuff kind of moves. Marvel looks like it's just been put on the shelves for the most part. This was their Christmas end cap that they built to display Marvel Legends. Some stuff did sell. Can't deny that. But look how much is left at this store. Look how much is left at all of these stores. Let's just take one last look as we walk out. More Holdo, more Invisible Doctor Strange, lots of Eternals. Folks, the usual suspects, they're all here. They're all at Ollie's. It's not going to change anytime soon. Maybe around tax season, people will start buying stuff, and they'll buy this? I don't know. New stuff seems more appealing than this old Disney crap. But who am I? I'm just a guy who knows the Shurikopter is valueless. Imagine waking up on Christmas morning and getting this thing and going, look, it's a Black Panther toy. You love Marvel. But Mom, I like Spider-Man. Yeah, but they're in the same universe. It's the same difference. No, it's not. No, it is not. This poor Lando figure is at Walmart, Target, Ollie's. If there's a store that sells toys, they have this Lando. Either in this box, the original box, or the special edition Return to the Jedi 40th anniversary box. Lando. It sucks that it's Lando. He's like less popular than Rose Tico on shelves. And that's sad. But folks, thank you for joining me for our final toy video of the year. 2023 has been an exciting year for the channel. It's been an exciting year for my personal life. But as you guys know, if you listen to our live shows, that 2024 has a lot of surprises in store for you guys. So make sure you're watching our live shows, make sure you guys are watching our videos when they go live, and check out WCBS. Folks, I'm taking us to Japan in 2025, and we're going to do it together. We're going to find a way to get the guys and I to Star Wars Celebration 2025 in Japan. I believe it's Tokyo, and we're going to go and tear it up. So folks, we're going to find a way to build some channel growth, build some channel funds, and take the guys and I to Japan to produce awesome videos for you. I know it's early, I know it's still technically 2023 when I record this video and release it, but I don't care. I want to make my mark, call my play, call my shot early on so people know exactly what WCBS is about. We are world class after all, and we got to travel the world to live up to the name. We've been around for a while, we've been around this country, but it's time to take us outside of this country to other parts of the world. Hell, eventually, we'll go to outer space. We'll conquest that too. But folks, until we go to outer space, we gotta watch entertainment about outer space. And if you want great content about outer space, and it's not Star Wars anymore, we'll go to stealingsolo.com right now and get yourselves a copy of the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs. It answers the question, what if a group of disgruntled Star Wars fans kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to remake Star Wars in their basement? It's been called Laugh Out Loud Funny, and it's on a lot of people's radars, including some big names in the comic book industry. A couple legends have asked for copies as well. So folks, if you'd like to be in the same company as greats that have written characters like Batman, Punisher, Star Wars, and more, well then go to stealingsolo.com. I'd like to thank everybody who made 2023 a huge year for Stealing Solo. I sold more books than I could even count. Of course, I could pull up the numbers, but off the top of my head, it was a lot. And I'd like to thank everybody who made that happen. You're helping somebody whose goal it is to achieve comic greatness make that happen. So folks, I love making the books. According to the feedback I get, you love reading the books. So you keep on reading them, I'll keep making them. So folks, pick up Stealing Solo so we can get to the sequel, but get ready for Wokebusters. We're almost at 2024. I'm essentially done with my part. It's going to be finished and out to you around the time of the Ghostbusters movie. So I will make sure to let you guys know about our new campaign that we're going to launch. We'll make sure that everybody that backed it in the original campaign gets the rest of their stuff since they've received other stuff of the campaign. And there's a whole lot more coming from Wokebusters, Jeff Hicks, and all my comics. So folks, thank you for watching. Happy New Year. Merry New Year if you're a fan of the Dukes Brothers. I'll make you a Dukes Brothers bet. 2024 is going to be a pretty good one. So until then, folks, be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.